What is your advice to high schoolers who want to get recruited at the college level?
I think one thing is putting like a face to a name. You know, you
Mm-hmm.
get so many emails and there's so many Riley Smiths out there that I
Oh
think
yeah.
if you make the trip to campus and you just have a little bit of FaceTime, I think that's huge. And then I also think there's so many different ways families and parents can invest their money in their kids' recruiting process. But I think one smart way to do that is with a really good highlight reel. You know, I don't think any of like the scouting websites and stuff like that is really beneficial. But to have a link at the end of every email that you send with just a little clip of your best plays can only help.
What would you say like the first step to like wanting to know where you want to go is like with the recruiting process? Like what would you be like your first step should be?
I mean, it's hard because it's hard enough to figure out what school you want to go to when you're just a regular student, and then you're adding this huge athletic component to it. And I think it's really important to spend some time with your high school guidance counselor based on your grades and your
Mm-hmm.
academics, and starting with that and then following that up with, if you're playing club, with your club coach to say, okay, who do you have great relationships with? What schools do you know in this area or whatever area I'm looking at that kind of like, fits some of these bullet points?
Got it.
And then, as hard as it is, just kind of do your best to kind of like narrow that down month by month, I guess.
Mm-hmm. What is your biggest advice to high schoolers who want to get recruited in college?
I think it's most important that you get in contact and visit the campus as much as you possibly can. And I think it's really important that a coach sees you play in person rather than just over a highlight video or at a camp and clinic once. It's really important that you make yourself available to them for them to be seen.
Yeah. Do you think it's important for a player to love the school and also love the lacrosse program?
I think personally it's more important that a future student athlete loves the college more than they actually love playing their sport, because if you got hurt tomorrow and you could never play a sport ever again, you have to make sure that that school fits you academically and it's going to be most successful for after when you graduate college.
Chose D2 because it's still very competitive like D1, and our conference, especially the NE10, is a really competitive conference, and there's really good lacrosse being played, but also there's that social life aspect that can also be a part of it, and also academics is equally as important. I chose D2.